Welcome to another episode of the Apocalypse. I am your guide, Niklas. Never surrender in advance. Yes, never surrender in advance. Like ABC just did, like Mr. Stephanopoulos just did, like so many are doing, Joe and Mika, etc. The press especially is really scared. And everyone's begging for their life. Time magazine, everyone's trying to appease Donnie. Including ABC. Mr. Stephanopoulos and ABC are going to pay Donnie $15 million. It was a settlement offer. They didn't have to. Depositions were scheduled for next week or next month, something like that, for both parties. A judge ordered it. So I guess neither party wanted to give depositions, and they sure didn't want to put the new dictator through that inconvenience. Because we all know they just get thrown right in the gulag first the second the new dictator takes office. So this is what they're trying to head off at the pass, just like everyone else. Just like Bezos throwing $1 million at the inauguration. All the CEOs calling Donnie up. Some of them, like Zuckerberg, visiting him. Everyone's paying tribute. Everyone's getting in line to pay tribute. Joe and Mika going for a visit, begging for their life. Please don't lock us up, Donnie, I'm sure, was said at the dinner table. We love you, Donnie. Unity, peace, all that good stuff. So, ABC is yet another party that surrendered in advance. The beast is not even at their door yet. Hasn't even taken his seat. Hasn't even been coronated. And they've already surrendered and said, hey, here's our tribute. Sorry, Donnie. We didn't mean to call you a rapist. That's why Donnie sued them. Because they said he was an adjudicated rapist. Does that sound familiar? Well, we're at the point in America, thanks, Roops, where, well, actually, I'm actually only an adjudicated sexual assaulter. Technically not a rapist, only because E. Jean couldn't see what I did, because it was out of her line of sight, let's put it that way. Yes, America, you are at the point where an actual grounds for a lawsuit is, I'm only guilty of sexual assault, not rape. That's actual grounds for a lawsuit. Well, that lawsuit is thin as hell. There's no court that should ever have taken this lawsuit seriously. It's a joke. Donnie is an adjudicated sexual assaulter. He forced a woman into a dressing room to do things she didn't want to do. And she's not even sure what actually happened as far as what was used. And that was used as a defense in court. And then it was used as grounds for a lawsuit, a defamation suit, by an adjudicated defamer, Donnie Shitbags. Isn't that ironic? The defamer suing someone else for defamation. Whew! So, how do I perceive this? That Stephanopoulos and ABC are paying tribute, surrendering in advance, saying, Donnie, please don't lock us up, don't kill us, don't throw us into gulag. We're sorry. We're going to issue an apology, and we're going to pay you $15 million as tribute to the new dictator, who possibly, we don't know, may lock us the fuck up. That's what it is. Some more tribute, some more ass kissing, because everyone is scared. And I'm glad I said that. That's more proof. More evidence of what I've been saying in each video in succession. Are you horrified yet? Do you think it's time to be scared or worried yet? When a news agency is just offering $15 million, they weren't about to lose the case. That's not why they did it. You know that. I know that. Everyone knows that. So there must be another reason why ABC and Stephanopoulos said, you know what, let's just give him what he wants. And hopefully he don't lock us up when he takes over, because there's no one to stop him. Why do you think everyone's acting this way? They know no one's going to stop him. No one stopped him for this past 4 years. That's why they're all so scared. And that's the only reason this happened. This happened out of fear. Again, it wasn't because they were about to lose the case. They figured, well, he's going to be dictator soon. Let's pay him his tribute. Let's smooth things out. Let's admit we were wrong and apologize before the new king takes office. And pay him his tribute. And hopefully he won't come for more money. And hopefully he won't come for our heads. And I mean that literally. I'm not talking metaphorically. That's where we're at. That's why people are so scared. That's why Stephanopoulos and ABC just did what they did. Further evidence, more proof, right in your face of what I've been saying every day. This isn't normal. This isn't the normal politics, the normal situation that we're all used to. Let's not pretend that it is. After I learned of the Stephanopoulos ABC settlement for calling Donnie a rapist, when, again, the grounds for the suit was, I was only adjudicated to have committed sexual assault. Why are you calling me a rapist? Oh, because that's what you are. Anyway, I saw this comment after I saw the settlement headline. And this is by a gentleman named Rick Taylor, and I don't know much about him, but every once in a while I like some things that he says. And I saw this and it just struck me, because this is exactly what I think. This is what I've been trying to warn people about. This kind of world, where it's all going. I saw it back in 2015. And not enough people have taken it seriously all the way up to this point. And now it's too late. So all I can do again, people, all three of you, is maybe I can guide you through it a little bit. Because it's checking all the boxes. And believe me, I don't want it to check all the boxes. I want to be wrong about this, about who he is, about what I think's about to happen. I want to be wrong about. I want all of you to call me an idiot, and that I'm wrong at the end of this, and that I blew it way out of proportion. I am looking forward to those comments. I keep waiting for that to happen, though, and it never happens. Instead of that happening, I check another box off on the list. Believe me, I don't want to be saying these things. I don't want to be thinking these things. I don't want these things to be happening. I want to be wrong. Please. But until I see something that tells me I'm wrong, I can't say I'm wrong, can I? So this person put it in perfect wording, exactly what I've been thinking once I saw that Stephanopoulos judgment, and as I've watched Joe and Mika pay tribute, as I've watched all the press, as I watched Time Magazine pay tribute, everybody running scared, especially in the press. The gentleman says, bye-bye First Amendment. It was nice knowing you. The MSM have all caved in, and eventually every single U.S. resident who posts anything remotely critical of Trump will be arrested. Yes, that will happen. He's threatened it. He's talked about arresting people many times that he doesn't like, that say negative things about him. He envies Kim Jong. He envies Putin. He envies Xi. You know what he wants to do. It's just when is he going to cross that line and do it? You're about to witness it. Don't worry, he'll cross it. You'll wake up one day and you'll be horrified. Or maybe you'll be cheering it on while it's happening because you have no wisdom. But then it's going to come to your doorstep. And then you'll understand. And by then it'll be far too late. Again, I said to so many of you, get out of the cult while you can. Over the years, I said it to so many of you. As you went on your rants with all your talking points that got off of Fox or whatever right-wing organization taught them to you as you parrot them. I've heard them all. That's why I kept saying, all you people over the years, you random people, you people that have watched me that want to debate this, get out while you still can. You didn't listen. So I completely agree with the sentiment of this post. It's over for the First Amendment. It's over for America. Everyone is caving. The Stephanopoulos thing today that just happened is a perfect illustration of what I've been saying for years about what it's going to turn into. Everyone is proving me right. Each day we see someone else lining up or elbowing someone else out of the way to pay tribute to the new dictator. This is just another version of it. And they're all trying to say with these moves, these pathetic moves of, what's the word? Cowardice. Sniveling. What are they all saying? Well, they're all saying, Donnie, please don't lock us up. Please don't kill us. Please don't arrest us. Please, Hitler. That's what they're saying. That should worry you. It's not funny. It's a slippery slope, man. And we 3/4 down it. Too late. This isn't a warning video. It's too late. This is a guide you through it video. So yeah, I expect the next step. The press is all caved in, so you should expect pretty positive coverage of Donnie from now on, from all mainstream press. That's what I expect to see. Glowing coverage, all of a sudden. Gee, I wonder why. Then I expect anyone critical on social media will either be shut down. I've been shut down many times. Shit, TikTok saw what I'm about and forget about it. Plus the mob called, but they saw the message I was putting forth, man. Forget it. So I expect accounts to be shut down that are critical of Donnie or Thale or Musk or whatever. Then I expect to even go a little further. People to be actually arrested, just like Rick's saying here. I expect that to happen. It's guaranteed to happen. It happens in every dictatorship. Read the book 1984 and you will understand the psychology of what's going on. They want to break you to a point where you'll say 2 + 2 is 5, even though you know 2 + 2 is 4. It's not the point of what's true. The point of a regime, of the authoritarian movement, is not to teach what's true. It's to teach you that whatever they say is true and you better run with it or you die. Control, total control, to the point where people are afraid to even speak out. Like back in Hitler's day. Children reporting parents, neighbors reporting neighbors, etc., looking for some reward, some grace from the Fuhrer. That's what I'm talking about. That's the world you have ushered in. So I expect regular citizens, just like Rick said, that's the next step in this equation, the next logical step. This is why I've been on camera for like 8 years yelling, losing friends, losing viewers, etc. This isn't going to be funny once it starts happening. And it will start happening. This gentleman is 100% accurate. The big time press, they've all caved. They're done. They've been bowled over. Forget about it. The government owned by Donnie, except for the military, he will have that soon. He's already got the Supreme Court. Guess what's going to happen with all those pardons? Well, the Supreme Court's going to take a look at them and say they're unconstitutional or something. Simple. And they'll write, a 3-page, 4-page bullshit dissertation on why that's the case. With, 3 dissenting votes. Bye-bye pardons. Or they'll just ignore the pardons and arrest who they want anyway. Dictatorship, son. You didn't know? You better ask somebody. Think they're going to give a fuck about pardons? Who's going to stop them? That's what you need to ask. Who is going to stop them? There is nobody. There's nobody left. Sorry. So that's where we're going. The next step in the equation, the next step in the story, if you know history, and all these sociopaths that manage to worm their way into power somehow via usually thugs like Putin that help finance it and make it happen. They're all the same. They're never any different. Same carbon copy of the one before in the history book that you read about. Just, they just express it in a slightly different sociopathy and different cruelties and evils, different ways. But it always ends up the same. The ruin of a nation, ruin of a people, huge economic losses, huge loss of life, huge loss of freedom. That's always the way it goes. There are no exceptions. Whenever a place goes the dictator route, it's going to end up there. Guaranteed every single time. There's something else I need to talk about. And I never really explained it clearly, and I wish more people could see this message that I'm about to say right now, but that's impossible. Erasing history. You will see an effort to erase history. You've already have seen it this past 8 years. They started getting serious about the book bans, about really getting strict with teachers if they teach slavery, etc. You watched some of my live streams when I used to be allowed to a live stream by the adjudicated criminal Google. You watched the talking points person come to my political live stream with all the talking points, the erasing history talking points. What do I mean by that? Well, just because I'm white and on camera and I was talking about politics, a gentleman or an entity decided to come and spout the talking points that, am I going to forgive myself for slavery and all this blah, blah, blah. I wasn't even talking about slavery, but they had to bring it up. They had a set of talking points they need to stick to. So here's the thing about slavery. It happened. We need to study it and learn from it and not make the same mistake again. Erasing it from the history books, not talking about it because we're going to allege that it makes white people feel bad is a fucking joke. It took place. It existed. We must acknowledge it. We must teach it because it is part of the story. And we must explain how wrong it was. And how that's not the kind of nation we want to be. That's what I think about that. And it should never not be talked about. No problem when everybody was reaping the benefits of it, the money from it, getting that free labor. No problem then, but there's a problem now if we talk about it. No, those are preordained talking points from a thing called the right-wing grift/terror machine. I've heard them a million times. But I was a nice guy that night about it. Even though I did still tell them, yeah, I've heard all these talking points before. Can you give me something new? That's an organized effort that puts talking points out like that. That's an effort to erase history under the guise of it making white people feel bad. Anyway, I want to make you aware of the bigger picture. Those book bans, they really intensified after the January 6th event happened. A lot of people helped make that event happen, in government and outside of government. Not only is the goal to get all the LGBTQ stuff out of the schools and out of the books and ban those books, ban anything, ban books like 1984, things that will teach people about authoritarianism and how it works, the actual mechanics and the sociopathy behind it. Any of those types of books need to go. That's for a general population purpose, education. We don't want people knowing about what a authoritarian regime looks like, because we're about to install one. We can't have an educated populace. School voucher scams, defunding the public schools, that's all on purpose. But I want to talk about the removing books. It's an effort to erase history. Any books mentioning slavery in certain parts of our country, they've been pulled. They want to erase slavery. They want to get rid of anything LGBTQ out of existence. Erase it. Any book that teaches about authoritarianism, erase it. Get rid of it. Burn it. So you know about all those things. Those are the obvious things that they say. Oh, these are the types of books they're pulling. But what's the real agenda? What's the real information they eventually want to suppress? Well, some of it just happened today. A man who's a rapist got called a rapist. A guy who's on tape saying, I just grab women, I just kiss them, I don't ask, you can do anything. Well, that just got erased when George and ABC decided to surrender in advance, before the threat was even there. Well, that now just got erased. And that's the goal of a person like Donnie Shitbags or Kim Jong or Putin or what. They want that information gone forever, just like all my videos are gone forever. You get how that works? They want to erase me. They tried to erase me. They want to erase all the information I put out. They've pretty much succeeded in that. Same principle. So what do they really want to erase? Well, anything that says Donnie's a criminal, they're going to want to get rid of that. But here's what they really want to erase. About 80% of a political party, one of the two major political parties in this nation, tried to overthrow our government and has been taking Russian money for at least 2 decades. They want that gone from the history books. That's going to be in the history books 100 years from now. A guy named Donnie Shitbags tried to overthrow the U.S. government. If we want to tell the truth, it would be in the books. That's devastating to these people. That's their worst nightmare. Mitch can't have that. Neither can any of them. Mitch took the Russian money too. Now he's crying about what's about to come, when he had 2 chances to convict and impeachment and get rid of this trash. He's going to dare complain about what he's seeing, when he's literally one of the few men on this planet who had the power to end this nightmare. Nope. Russian money and power was too exciting to Mitch to do the right thing, unfortunately for us and America. Now he wants to cry about it. Fuck him. So they're going to need in the future for this information to not be in the history books, all Donnie's abominations, all Donnie's rapes, lies, defamations, frauds, schemes, scams. They want to erase from the history books that one political party, the majority of them, helped try and overthrow the U.S. government. That's going to go down in history forever. That their candidate sat up in the White House or wherever he was with his family and other people, partying, having food, drinks, watching it on television as if it were the Roman Colosseum or a football game. That will go in the history books if we want to tell the truth. But not with Donnie in charge, not with DeSantis in charge and people like that. They can't have that history out there. That's really where this is going, this censorship and this book burning, book banning. They need to stop this information from going in the history books so your great-grandchild doesn't read about it in history class. That an orange-faced guy named Donnie Shitbags and his party, 80% of them, and others, broadcasters, all kind of patriots, right-wing conservative, meat and potatoes type men and women, right? Family values, truth and Jesus, right? No, they ain't about none of that. They're about Russian money and power and taking over the government because they can't win elections anymore. They can't get donations anymore, except for from guys like Murdoch and people like that. So they had to turn to Russia, just like when Donnie couldn't get loans from American banks, he had to turn to Russia. It's their last desperate hope. And their last desperate hope of holding on to power is a thing called fascism. They can't have democracy. It doesn't work for them anymore. Demographics have changed. So this is their last big, assault. This is their attempt to change us over to something else now. To go hand in hand with that, the new authoritarian regime you're about to experience, they need to erase all this history. They can't have in the history books one more time that Donnie and his cohorts and 80% of one political party tried to overthrow the U.S. government for the first time ever since, the Civil War. They can't have that. These aren't those kind of men and women. As long as it's not out there, just like the mob that, with the Chris Cornell thing. In their world, if the information's not out there, then the truth, that truth doesn't exist. Only their lies exist. And I guess that makes them feel good or something, or it makes them feel like they've achieved something. But again, the truth is still the truth, and a lie is still a lie. Erasing it here in this plane of existence doesn't make it a lie. Doesn't make it what you want it to be. It's known. And it will be held against you. So this shit's getting real dire, and we're at the point now where the front line of reporting has already capitulated and surrendered in advance, and you never want to do that. So now, who do they move on to after that? They've got the front line handled. They've got the Foxes and the MSNBC and the ABC and all that handled. They've all bitched out. Not that they were much help before, because they need their money, tax cuts, and ratings as well, and horse race in the political arena. Where do you go next in your authoritarian takeover? Well, you go after regular citizens that you don't like what they're saying. So I expect it to go there. I expect more history erasure going on. And I expect tomorrow and the next day, each day, more and more people heaping tribute, more of Donnie's dreams coming true, more magazine covers. It's going to be great. And I'm sorry, I wish I had some good news, but I don't. I guess all I can say at this point is thanks, Rubes. And it will come to all of your doorsteps. Don't worry. Don't worry. There's a reason all the most powerful people in the world are scared shitless. People in the press are scared shitless. Everyone's scared shitless. There's a reason. And it's not a good thing. But you needed to find that out the hard way. And unfortunately for the rest of us that have a little wisdom, we must suffer you and what you have wrought. That's reality right now. Enjoy it. Oh, and let me say this. Everyone out there, I'm serious. The next month, enjoy your friends, your family, the music you love, all the things you love. Smoke up, whatever the fuck you do, man. And enjoy it. Because after January, whatever, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. It's not going to be good. So get it all in now. Get all the visits in. And if you can get the fuck out the country, I'm serious. Get the fuck out the country. I am not joking. And this ain't no political rant. You ain't hear me once say, oh, let's focus on the midterms, guys. This ain't no motherfucking political rant, son. I don't care who wants to turn it into one. Again, if I had the means, I'd be the fuck out this fucking shithole in a New York motherfucking minute. Wouldn't even hesitate. If another country would have me, another country I find, pleasing. But I'm not rich, so I can't just do that. I'm stuck with you rubes, unfortunately. One more time, have a good Christmas and New Year's with your people, whoever they may be. Don't waste any time with fucking people that ain't good for you right now, because there ain't a lot of time left. Enjoy the people, the good people. Get together, have a visit, have a chat. Just hang out, talk for a few minutes. Enjoy each other. Be nice. Because next year is going to be bad. And Americans don't know what bad is yet. They're about to find out, unfortunately. Anyway, until the next episode of The Apocalypse, have a wonderful evening.